New videos every day.
The question of the day is, what is fiber? Pause the video, let us know what you think, and then replay the video. Now, if you weren't sure what fiber was, that's okay, because I looked in 4 dictionaries and I didn't even find a good definition either. But just to let you know, fiber is the indigestible portion of plants that when you eat them, it moves through your digestive tract, absorbs water, and helps ease defecation or helps you have regular bowel movements. Before I go over the benefits of fiber, I want to tell you the difference between 2 types of fiber out there. There is soluble and there is insoluble fiber. The soluble fiber is the fiber that is absorbed in water. It's actually dissolved in water, and that type of fiber helps to lower cholesterol. And the insoluble fiber is not absorbed in the digestive tract, so it ends up in the colon, and it basically can be called roughage because it adds bulk to your bowel movements. So there's 2 different kinds, and they have 2 different benefits in general. The first benefit is fiber can help reduce your risk for heart disease. Heart disease is still one of the major killers in the United States, both for men and women, and with a high risk for heart disease, you're going to have potential for heart attacks, blockage. You may need bypass surgery. There's all different complications associated with heart disease, but there's a real simple way to help reduce that risk, and that is through dietary fiber. The second benefit for fiber is it can actually help reduce your risk for diabetes. And the way this happens is because the fiber, and that is the soluble fiber, which comes from oats and barley, that kind of fiber will help to reduce how quick the sugar enters your bloodstream. So you don't get that spike in blood sugar, which is known as hyperglycemia. And then if you do get that spike in blood sugar, it causes your pancreas to release insulin. And if that happens over and over, then that increases your risk for diabetes. So actually having fiber in your diet can prevent that from happening. Another benefit, and the studies are still out there, some are conflicting, so fiber may decrease your risk for colon cancer. So it's still kind of up for debate. My professional opinion is that yes, it does, and not necessarily just because of the fiber, but because the foods that have the fiber in them also help to prevent cancer. Another benefit with dietary fiber is it actually can prevent a disease called diverticular disease. And this is where your intestines get inflamed and they develop pouches, and those pouches get infected, and that can cause a lot of issues. But with fiber, there's some studies out there that have shown that there is a link between reduced risk for this disease and dietary fiber content. Another benefit is that insoluble fiber, which comes from whole wheat foods and like wheat bran, that type of fiber is called insoluble fiber. That adds bulk to your bowel movements. So it sort of has like a laxative effect. It's not going to cause diarrhea, but it actually will promote normal, regular, healthy bowel movements. And then one of the most important benefits for dietary fiber is it can help decrease weight gain and promote healthy weight. And the way that it does that is because when you eat fiber-rich foods, that helps you feel full quicker and longer. So you end up eating less at meal times and less throughout the day because you don't get as hungry. The average person in America only eats less than half of the recommended amount of fiber a day. And with kids and adolescents, their average intake is just only about 20% of the recommendations. And in my opinion, the lack of fiber in someone's diet can contribute to diabetes, obesity, GI problems like irritable bowel syndrome, constipation. There's a lot of side effects associated with the lack of fiber. So the real fiber that you want comes from whole fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. So I want to go over some examples just to give you an idea of what to look out for when you're grocery shopping. Fruits, the blackberries are the highest in fiber. 1 cup of blackberries has 8 grams of fiber. And then to give you some more ideas, 1 pear has 5 grams, an apple has 4 grams, dried apricots, prunes, figs, kiwi, those all are pretty high in fiber. And then something else I want to remind you of is that there's a complete difference in fiber intake between a juice and the real fruit. If you eat a whole orange, you're getting about 4 grams of fiber in that orange. However, if you're drinking a cup of orange juice, you're only getting half a gram. So keep that in mind. Don't use the juice as you're serving for fruit because you're missing out on all the great fiber. Moving on to vegetables. Half a cup of green peas has 5 grams of fiber. Sweet potato baked with the skin on it has 4 grams. And that's a pretty good general rule to keep in mind when you're cooking a fruit or vegetable. If you take the peel off, you're losing most of the fiber that fruit or vegetable contains. So try to eat them as much as possible with the skin on them. Broccoli, half a cup, has 3 grams. Asparagus, carrots, all of the green bell peppers, those are all pretty high. And then in comparison, 1 tomato only has 2 grams. So tomatoes are one of the most popular eaten vegetables out there, but they're one of the lowest in fiber. Grains and pasta. There's 1 cup of whole wheat pasta has 6 grams of fiber. Brown rice has 3 grams of fiber. White rice only has half a gram of fiber. And then moving on to some of the other categories, nuts, almonds, about 24 almonds has 4 grams of fiber. That's really high. Black beans are another good source. Kidney beans, oat bran, oatmeal, and there's some high fiber cereals out there that are made from the whole grains. So these are some really good options for you to start including in your diet. Coming up, I'm going to do a video about the benefits of breastfeeding. And we're going to talk about, is it really true that if you don't breastfeed your kids long enough that it can promote obesity for them in the future? And then the other video I'm going to do is the truth about alcohol. Because you hear, on one end, oh, it's so good for you, it helps reduce your risk for heart disease. And on the other end, you can die from liver damage. So we are going to talk about the truth about alcohol. And I also want to say thank you so much to everybody who rates my videos, and especially the people who leave comments. I read every single one of your comments, and I may not be able to reply to everyone, but I do read it, and I really appreciate that you take the time to let me know what you think about the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. There are over 350 videos on our channel, and I doubt you've seen them all. And the topics range from weight loss, nutrition, sexual health, all the way to psychology and mind control, and anywhere in between. And I think if you check them out, you're going to find some really interesting stuff.